Think back to the day you bought your phone. You probably watched reviews for hours, compared cameras, checked battery tests. You told yourself this wasn't just a purchase, it was an upgrade to your daily life. When you finally held it in your hand, it felt fast, premium, exciting. Every swipe felt smooth. Every photo felt impressive. You felt like you had something modern. Now, fast forward 1 year. Your phone still turns on, it still runs your apps, it still makes calls, takes photos, and connects to the internet, just like it did on day one. And yet, it feels old. Not broken, not unusable, just outdated. The strange part is that this feeling shows up right on schedule, almost like a timer goes off in your brain exactly when a new model is released. Suddenly, your screen doesn't look as sharp, your camera doesn't feel as impressive, your battery feels not as strong as it used to be. You start noticing tiny delays that never bothered you before. So what changed? Did your phone actually get dramatically worse in 12 months? Or did something else change, something happening in your mind? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Modern smartphone companies don't just design hardware, they design perception. And over the course of a year, they carefully shift how you feel about the device in your pocket. Your phone doesn't need to fail for you to replace it. It only needs to stop feeling special. And that psychological shift from excitement to dissatisfaction is not random. It's predictable, repeatable, and deeply built into how the industry operates. Every year, a new phone launches. The presentation is dramatic. Words like breakthrough, next level, and our most advanced ever fill the stage. The camera is revolutionary, the chip is blazing fast, the display is brighter than ever. But if you look closely, most year-to-year changes are surprisingly small. A slightly better camera sensor, a slightly faster processor, a slightly brighter screen, maybe a new color, maybe a minor design tweak. Individually, these changes are not life-changing. Most people would barely notice the difference in a blind test. Yet together, they create a powerful illusion. Progress is happening fast, and your device is falling behind. Here's the key psychological trick. Companies rarely release all major improvements at once. Instead, they spread meaningful upgrades across multiple years. 1 year focuses on the camera. Another focuses on battery life, another on design, another on performance. This staggered release schedule keeps the upgrade cycle alive. If companies waited 3 or 4 years and released truly massive improvements all at once, people would upgrade less often. So instead, improvements are carefully rationed, just enough each year to make the new model feel desirable, but not enough to make older models feel completely obsolete in one step. This creates what psychologists call relative dissatisfaction. Your phone may still be excellent in absolute terms, but it feels worse in comparison to the newest version being heavily advertised. And comparison is where human satisfaction collapses. You don't compare your phone to what you had 5 years ago. You compare it to what's being marketed today. When ads show brighter photos, smoother gameplay, and futuristic designs, your perfectly functional device starts to feel like it's missing something, even if your daily use hasn't changed at all. The companies are not just selling a product. They are selling a moving target, and every year that target shifts just far enough that you feel one step behind. First, there's adaptation. Humans quickly get used to improvements. The fast speed that impressed you on day one becomes normal after a few months. The great camera becomes just okay. What once felt premium becomes ordinary.
This is called hedonistic adaptation, and companies rely on it. They know your excitement will naturally fade, creating emotional space for the next product to feel exciting again. Then comes marketing reframing. When a new phone launches, ads don't just show the device, they create a new standard. Suddenly, a 2x zoom is basic and 5x zoom is pro. A screen that was once considered sharp is now described as last generation. Words like Ultra, Pro, and Max subtly turn older models into the non-pro option, even if they still perform perfectly well. This language reshapes perception. You're not just seeing a new phone, you're seeing your current phone being quietly downgraded in status. There's also the power of selective comparison. Advertisements compare the new phone to models from several years ago instead of last year's version. This exaggerates progress. Viewers walk away thinking, "Wow, what a huge leap," even though compared to their current device, the change is much smaller. Software plays a role too. Over time, new updates are designed with newer hardware in mind. Older devices may still run them, but not always as smoothly. Features may be limited. Animations may feel slightly heavier. Individually, these changes are minor. Together, they create the feeling that your phone is getting old, even though it's fully functional. Then comes social influence, one of the strongest forces of all. You see unboxing videos, reviewers calling it a massive upgrade, friends posting photos of their new device, coworkers placing shiny new phones on the table. Gradually, not upgrading starts to feel like falling behind, and humans are deeply wired to avoid falling behind. At this stage, your brain isn't responding to technical need, it's responding to emotional discomfort, the discomfort of using something that no longer feels current. That discomfort is the true product being engineered.
Here's the most important realization. Your phone doesn't need to fail. It only needs to stop feeling special. It only needs to stop feeling exciting. Once that emotional drop happens, a powerful cycle begins. You start noticing small flaws more often. A tiny delay feels bigger than it is. A slightly worse low-light photo feels unacceptable. Battery decline, which is normal for all rechargeable devices, starts to feel like a sign your phone is dying, even if it still lasts most of the day. This is called confirmation bias. Once you believe your phone is getting old, your brain searches for evidence to support that belief. At the same time, the new model is framed as the solution: better battery, better camera, better performance. The emotional contrast becomes clear. Your current phone represents compromise, while the new phone represents relief. So you upgrade, and for a few months, the excitement returns. The phone feels fast, new, impressive. The cycle resets. But a year later, the same process begins again. The excitement fades, a new model launches, marketing reframes your device as outdated, social pressure increases, small flaws feel bigger, and the urge to upgrade returns. This is not an accident. It's a system built on psychology as much as technology. To be clear, smartphones do improve over time. Innovation is real. But the speed at which you feel the need to upgrade is driven far more by perception than necessity. Most 2-year-old phones still handle everyday tasks, messaging, photos, video, social media, browsing, extremely well. The difference between works perfectly and feels outdated is largely emotional. And once you see that, the cycle loses some of its power. Because the moment you realized the feeling of "my phone is old" was partly manufactured, you regain control. You can choose to upgrade based on real need, like major battery failure or features you truly use, instead of a scheduled wave of dissatisfaction. The industry depends on you not noticing this pattern. Not because it's illegal, not because it's a secret conspiracy, but because it's a highly refined psychological system designed to turn normal human behavior, adaptation, comparison, social influence, into a predictable upgrade cycle. Your phone didn't suddenly become bad after 12 months, but the story around it did. And in the modern tech world, the story is often more powerful than the hardware itself. Now that you know how phones are made to feel old, wait until you see how brands use the word pro to make you spend more. That video is on your screen right now.